everybody, welcome back to Hologround. I'm here on Drawing Club with Reese. Reese is
What's up,
gonna
y'all?
be doing work on his comic. I'm just gonna be continuing the thing from last time. Because I didn't...
Technically I'm doing the same.
Well, technically, I just...
Mm.
I'm one of those people that didn't do anything for Christmas, so I might as well be late about it.
Mm.
Jamil's art says, "Hey,
Hey all. Welcome to the stream.
how you doing, buddy? How was your Christmas and how are you preparing for the new year?"
I'm bringing a riot shield for the new year. I'm expecting more fires.
Why?
Well, the last 3 years have shown that the world is on the brink of destroying itself. Gotta prepare myself, man.
Reese.
Mm. Mm.
You don't go in blind and just jump into it.
Mm.
How are you gonna get surprised by it? All the bullshit that's gonna happen.
At this point, I'm not surprised. That's the problem. I was surprised the first time.
And the second time, and the third time.
Now, by the third time, I'm just like, I just don't care anymore. What you got cooking?
Jamil says, "How you guys doing?"
Yeah, well, that's a loaded question. We could give you the honest truth or the well-pampered lie. Which would you prefer?
You should say the lie. Anyway, Jamil says, "I spent my Christmas with COVID. Most likely gonna spend the New Year like that too. Hope you get better."
There you go. Yeah, we hope you get better. I was saying this during the Legend of the Gaia stream. It's not a matter of if, more of a matter of when.
Yeah. Thankfully, I've managed to avoid COVID for the most part. But in my case, if I get it, I kind of have to avoid my grandma then, because she's 91.
Yeah.
And
this is the thing.
Yeah. Good thing I'm a hermit.
Yes. Yes, it is a good thing. I think I screwed myself over when I got a job in a hospital where it's pretty much ground zero.
Yeah.
Well, what can you do? What can you do? I needed to pay the rent, and it was the only thing open at the time. I was looking.
Yeah, shame you lost that job at the airport, but that's kind of the second ground zero if you think about it.
Very true. You're not wrong there. At the time, I got made redundant because there wasn't enough people traveling. Gee, I wonder why.
I blame the government.
Well, that's to blame for most things, honestly. But, you know, getting there. I've still got my missus, still got my family. So, you know, not all bad. Not all bad. I still have a roof over my head. That's a godsend, honestly.
Honestly, I hope we don't get a repeat of the restrictions because, well, I was going by a couple of shops earlier today and I was like, man, I should really check out that pizza place that's right next to where I live, and well, they just closed. I'm like, well, that did a number on it, I guess. Eventually, everything fucking closes. Honestly, like, I was surprised it lasted this long, if anything. But they picked a really good spot because it's like right near a school and university. So a lot of students go by, but I guess they just can't compete with the bigger chains. But a lot of shops on that street are gone forever.
Yeah.
One of the shops that keeps surprising me that it's just staying alive for everything and anything is the game shop. I told you about. Like we have one games shop in my town.
Yeah.
Like video games.
Yeah.
And
I get what you meant.
I have no idea how he stays in business. I literally don't, because most people get their stuff online these days. So I guess he does have a business model, and he has a monopoly on the town. But I'm just...
Does he not... So I was gonna say, does he not sell stuff online himself?
Maybe, but it's still surprising. Like, because most of the stuff that he can sell is just like the stuff people don't want to get online themselves, so he gets them for them. He also provides modding tools and stuff. Not modding tools, but he basically can mod your consoles because he's got contacts who know how to do it. He's been doing this for a long time. Okay, I mean, he's been at this since I was a very young child. It's the same guy, and eventually he got a monopoly in the town.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still around. He's still kicking. And I was like, he keeps changing places. But right now he's in a place which I would actually consider more expensive than the place he was in. And again, I'm not sure how the hell he can afford it. Because that place he's in right now used to be an antique store. It's like a little separate building. Welcome back, Jamil. It's like a little separate building. Like in the city center.
Yeah.
And the place he was in before was near the marketplace, so to say, but it was like a slightly harder to find place, I suppose. But right now he's like in between the place where, like, it's like slightly smack dab in between the school and that university I mentioned. So it's like in the perfect place. So a lot of school children and school kids will go through there.
What was it that someone once said? It's all about location when you open a business.
Well, the thing is, like
there's no... Go on.
Oh, go on, Rhys. Finish your thought.
No, I was going to say, there's no point opening a, say, kebab shop in a vegetarian area.
Yeah.
Unless I'm just sell thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, he's the only guy. But it's like his shop used to be not that far off when I was still in school. Like, he was on this. He was actually living on my road, and it's just like my road kind of goes. I live at the beginning of it, and it kind of stretches out all the way to the like the main road of like the busiest main road of the city. And yeah, like he had a shop right on the right on the corner, and there were a lot of clothing shops and everything, so a lot of women would go there with their children, and the children would get stuck in the games area, and the women would go further into all the clothing stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So he had a very good spot. Unfortunately, eventually that place had closed down, and it's just like a empty building right now. He also had a little, like a second and third location back in the day, but those closed down because, well, again, probably bad location for him.
Yeah.
But right now he's not that far off from that location, but it still doesn't get the traffic like he used to. Mainly because that road where I live is Well, it's a lot less busy than it used to be, I'll tell you that much. Because again, a lot of school kids go through that place, even if you don't go to that particular school.
Yeah.
There was another one near. Actually, I say another one. There were 3 more schools nearby, so people would go through that street of mine and just get on the bus on that street. So there was a lot of traffic there. A lot of those schools are closed now.
Okay.
I think 2 of them survived, but one of them got assimilated into another one, essentially.
You make it sound like they survived the purge.
I mean, it's not far off. It's not just COVID, it's just the times.
Yeah, of course. When I was working in McDonald's or Mackie D's, either or, like the first one I was working at, it's literally on the roundabout to get like into town and to the schools and all that jazz. So it's very busy. But the second one I worked at is on a high street. So it's very quiet for most of the day because, you know, most people are at work or at school. Duh. No.
And then lunch break happens.
So obviously the kids come by. And then the school run happens where obviously the kids are all leaving school. Now, come about, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock. That's where it's a bit busier. Again, because everyone in the offices and whatnot are driving by.
Yep.
But here's the kicker why I bring this story up. What we sold at McDonald's was different. Because a lot of the stuff came from the one at the roundabout, they're used to selling like normal burgers and all that jazz. So of course they order the stock for it. But because in this location it's mostly, sorry to offend, Asian people, we had to buy more fish products because it was all our fish going off. And when I say going off, I mean being bought, not expiring. Yeah. So now us, the workers, figured this out pretty early on before the store even opened, and they're ordering this, and we're just like, you know, bosses, shouldn't you really stock up on fish? It's like, no, it'd be fine. So opening day, we ran out for the first time ever of fillets, but had plenty of beef burgers, of which no one wanted to eat.
Yeah.
So it's very important that when you open a business, you know your clientele.
Basically.
Very, very important.
Have you ever seen that Flintstones episode where Fred gets fired from the quarry?
Yes.
And starts working.
Wait, which particular one?
Well, there's a moment where he starts actually working in a drive-through. Not a drive-through, but basically like what do you call them? I guess a diner, kind of like a diner, drive-through diner.
Oh yeah.
And
the skating waitresses.
Yeah, with the skating waitresses and he basically is like, oh, I like this job. It's chill. It's pretty nice. And then the fucking lunch break happens, and he gets a million orders, and it's like, the point where he breaks and quits on the spot.
That is exactly it.
Your story reminded me of that, essentially.
Yeah, legit. Yeah, that's fast food in a nutshell, I could tell you. Maybe other restaurants. I'm not sure which particular ones, but certain ones are definitely like that. Oh, chill, this is really chill. Come to Russia. Oh, no. In fact, my airport job was very similar because everyone's checking in and whatnot. And obviously they have, 2-3 hours to wait before they can go into their flight. So, of course, you got your rush hour where everyone's just come through the gate. They're hungry. They're buy their food, what have you. And then they're just waiting. Yep. And you can see them just waiting outside the store. Because they can't go anywhere. And then when they leave, the place is completely quiet.
Yep.
So
I know because of myself. Yep.
Yeah.
I have to go through the airports quite a lot. Thankfully not anymore, but still.
Yeah. Way back when.
I grab my references.
Yep, no problem, buddy.
I'll have to figure out a better system to record this stuff. So I can work on commissions during this time.
Admittedly, we can look into that in the new year.
I
was saying we can look into that in the new year.
I'll have to set that up. Yes. What's this wee business?
Oh, you know me. I'll just be there to watch you suffer.
What's this wee business? I'm the one figuring this shit out. even when it's on your fucker's sake. And
I don't know why. That just reminds me of like Aqua, like, don't worry, Kazuma, I'll help you. Just sitting on the couch, munching away, watching Kazuma do all the damn work.
Jamil says he's digging the art we're making. Thanks, Jamil.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Obviously, check our socials if you want to see more. Haha.
Yeah, I think I know who it is. You working on anything special, Jamil? Or just the comic?
Oh, a fellow comic artist.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic.
Or just resting with the until the COVID passes? Because fair dues if it is. If that is the case.
Yeah, how bad is your COVID? Is it really bad? Minor? I say minor.
No,
some people have it different to others, you know?
Because he's doing commissions at the moment, nothing too special.
Okay.
That's good then. If you're still functional, then that means it's bearable. Well, the current strains are more or less like a passing cold. Nothing like it used to be.
Thankfully.
He even says it's very minor. Last night had a running nose, that's about it. I have another acquaintance that had basically... one of my friends lives with him, and he says like, oh yeah, he basically says like, they say he has COVID, but I think he's just, well, sick. He just has a cold.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, the thing is, if he has no underlying issues, then it's fine, and just keep an eye on him. Plus,
of course.
Plus, the strains these days are very, very, very chilled out compared to what it was.
Yeah, because I remember when I tested positive for COVID, and I couldn't believe it. I thought, no, it can't be. So I took another test, and it's like, oh, I definitely am. So I called my bosses and told them I wouldn't be in for 5 days. At this point, they lowered it from like 7 or 10 days isolation to 5. And I was expecting to be hit hard. Like, I was expecting the worst.
Well, again, it depends on your constitution, I believe.
Well, that's the thing. I'm a very healthy guy as is, and I generally, honestly, felt fine. Again, bit stuffy, but otherwise, yeah. Like, I could make my own meals, I could go up and down the stairs, not being breathless. I was pretty fine. Yeah. And it's like, do I really have COVID? Are you sure?
The thing is, I think like, remember that time I had pneumonia?
Yeah.
So I think I went for something like that, I guess. And when I was talking to my neighbor, because he had a bad case of rejection to the vaccine, he's like, I told him about that time, and he's like, are you sure you didn't have COVID or something? I'm like, I might have had like a different strain or something from the way I got it. But I'm still pretty sure I just had pneumonia.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe me going through that, he kind of joked like, maybe because you went through that kind of prevented you from getting it. Because that was a horrible time in my life.
Well, funny you mentioned that. I think I mentioned it before when my grandfather passed away. I was bedridden. I mean, I did a shift at work. When I came home, I was just ill. I was bedridden for 14 bloody hours at the time. And after my bedridden had passed, I went to work and just treated it like a normal everyday cold.
Yeah.
I took my lemon sips and what have you. And when I think back on it, I think, because again, as you said, I was working in an airport at the time, and this was before the lockdowns, and everyone's like, COVID's here, kind of thing. I'm thinking,
COVID's
do I actually have COVID?
And the thing is, COVID's been a thing for like a long time. It's just just a different strain that we had, like affected everybody. Jamil says, yeah, first day was hell, second day and beyond has been just like common cold. Yeah, that's what people say.
Yeah.
Which is good, to be honest. And I'd rather have to suffer through that than the 2 weeks or whatever it was for a lot of people. Because I have suffered where my lungs were just full of gunk. I don't want to go through that again.
I must say, I am very thankful I haven't had to go through that, to say the least. Not yet. When I'm a bit older, well, we'll see how we go, because, can't stop the ravages of aging.
But since we brought up, like, that thing I went through where your lungs go completely full of gunk. Funny enough, at the same time I was suffering with that, my friend from Latvia suffered through it, like around the same time, the exact same thing. So we might have gotten something. I'm not sure what we had, because I couldn't go to the doctor or anything. I just kind of suffered through it. Like, I was telling Lucas that, and he's like, "How the fuck did you survive?" Because the thing is, I didn't have any medicine. I had nothing at the time, and I was just kind of starving myself.
Okay, to quote Lucas, how did you survive?
How did I survive? I lost 25 kilograms in a week or 2 weeks.
Oof, shit.
Yeah, I was really sick because I couldn't eat. I had food in my fridge, but the thought of eating it like made me nauseous.
Yeah.
So I couldn't eat it, and I had like food like bread, cheese, sausages, like stuff like that. Ham.
Yeah.
But I couldn't bring myself to eat it, and I didn't have any money because I had to. Funny enough, what happened was I had to send. I used to send money to my mom so she could pay the rent. So I would send a portion of that to her, and I got sick, and I sent the last of my money, thinking, "Oh, I'll just get paid." And I sent it off, and I get sick, and I can't go into work, and I'm just bedridden all the time, and I can't eat anything. And eventually, one of my housemates, she comes up to me and says, "Would you like me to get you something?" Because she sees that I'm just bedridden all the time, and she doesn't see me eating, but I guess she assumed that I wasn't. But if she didn't offer that, I probably could have died, actually, thinking back on it. But like at some point she's like, "Would you like to get you something?" And I'm like, "Could you just get me some vegetables and fruit? Just vegetables and fruit, like anything, like cucumbers, tomatoes, apples. I don't care. I just eat something that I can stomach." And that was the only thing I could think of that actually kind of like gave me non-nauseous vibes. Eventually she came back. She also got me some lemon and honey, so I could drink it with tea. And I got enough.
It's good that you had someone look after you.
I didn't.
Got you food.
I lived with them in the same flat, and they have to go through my room to get the kitchen. And they only offered help like a week or like after a week.
They didn't have to, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, they only offered any help because I couldn't move. There were at some point I was so emaciated I couldn't get out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
I literally had no strength in my legs, my arms. I couldn't move. And eventually, like, yeah, I remember having like even delusions, like to the point where like the thing is, when your lungs are full of gunk, any movement you do will spur on coughing fits.
Yeah.
And because of that, as I was lying down, I couldn't sleep. Any movement I did could spur like a coughing fit. So I could fall asleep for like from 15 minutes up to an hour, and then suddenly I wake up coughing and hacking up my lungs. Eventually, like getting rid of some gunk out of me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was delusional at some point. But yeah, after she brought me some stuff, I drank that. I got some energy in me. I got up and dragged myself to work, and I used to take this 1 hour walk to my workplace. That took me 3 hours because I had to stop and like catch my breath every few steps.
Damn.
Eventually I got there and they're like, "Oh, Oleg, you look like death." I'm like, "Yeah, I feel like it too." She gave me some money so I could get some medicine and food. So my boss gave me like 60 quid, I believe.
Yeah.
And later on, he took that out of my salary.
Oh, of course. That'd be too kind.
Because he's a dick. But yeah, he gave me 60 quid, and I went back. I went to the supermarket and got some medicine, and then slowly started to make a recovery. But yeah, like my muscles were completely atrophied from that. I had to bring my like weights to work so I could work out during like breaks and stuff, just to build up some muscle again.
Yep. I've certainly seen that side of things, to say the least.
So
because I'm sure I've told you.
I'm just sorry. Maybe that was COVID, like a strain of it. I don't know, because that definitely almost killed me. But I just assumed that I probably had bronchitis or pneumonia or something.
It's certainly a possibility. Because I work in a respiratory ward, I've certainly seen that side of things, to say the least.
Yeah.
Where people have just been hucking up, and of course they're talking about how they've lost weight, how because they don't eat, and it's like, yep. It's not pretty, but obviously you know that. So.
Honestly, that whole year was like a slope downwards in my life that I never stopped sliding from. Let's just say. But I'm not gonna go into that.
No. Let's look forward to the future and hope for the best.
I kinda wish Manchester turned out better back in the day, but it didn't.
Well, what's happened, to say the least. Who knows? Maybe this will actually turn things around for you. Maybe.
Doubt.
Press X to doubt.
No, I never finished that game. I did play it. But,
which one?
LA Noire.
Metal Gear?
No, that's
oh,
from,
LA. Yeah,
that's from LA Noire.
Right.
I did play it on the Xbox 360 back in the day, but I never finished it.
Yeah, my brother actually played that, and I don't think he finished it either, which is a shame. I hear really good things about it. Of course, the studio went under, unfortunately, but what can you do?
Did they? It's Rockstar, though.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Rockstar.
Am I getting confused? I might need to look this up.
Jamil says, I enjoy exploring LA more than the actual missions. That's how it always goes with open world games. Like you could, yeah, you basically could get cars and stuff. It's a Rockstar game. I just don't know if they published it or if it was a.
No, they published it. The
Oh, okay.
developers was Team Bondi.
Oh, okay. That's the confusion then.
Yeah, it's a shame. It really is. Oh, blooming hell! I completely forgot about it.
Apparently, well, Jamil.
Black Sad.
Oh yeah. I still need to play that game.
Yeah, we should stream that at some point.
Because I actually have it. But
on
Jamil,
Steam or
yes, on Steam.
Okay.
Jamil says he actually lives in Los Angeles, so it's like going through a time warp for him.
Ah, okay. That's cool. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a stream for Black Sad at some point.
Cool. Kind of wish I
do love a good detective game.
Kind of wish I had some of the Black Sad comics. Patrick
You don't?
Yeah, I don't. I've read them because Patrick bought them back in the day. I kept recommending him the Black Sad comics because, well, he was very particular about what kind of style he should be going into, and I was like, I think you will really enjoy Black Sad and the art style it kind of goes for. Because again, he's the type of guy who's like, I really don't want to do a furry art style, but I'm like, you could do a furry art style and make it look good, Patrick.
Yes, you can.
And seriously, like, Black Sad is just like the perfect example of that.
I haven't read the comics, but I've seen like screenshots on reviews or, let's say the occasional screenshot in Google Images and what have you. And it's really, really good.
Yeah.
It's really good style.
I'm not sure about the gameplay of this game.
Neither am I, but that's something we'll discover.
Yeah, we'll find out. I'm guessing it's a typical point-and-click kind of, or if not a point-and-click, kind of be like Telltale games.
Yeah, I'd imagine the same kind of thing.
Jamil says, I love Black Sad the comics. I was heavily inspired by that comic to draw my Westerner comic. Yeah, I'll link his stuff later, Reese. He does a very similar looking, like, and when I say similar, like in tone.
Yeah.
Or you know what, Jamil, can you link into the chat now? Reese is just gonna drop by for a look-see.
Yes, I shall drop by for a look-see. So I'm only colouring at the minute, nothing too loveless. Oh no, my eyes, my hubris. Oh no. Right, let's see.
Has Becky been in contact with you?
Of course she has.
Has she been complaining?
Actually, no. No, actually.
Surprisingly, no.
The only thing she, quote-unquote, complains about is just missing me, that's all.
Okay.
Otherwise, she's having fun, obviously, with her niece, and her family hasn't annoyed her yet.
Well,
so
the niece is there to take off the stress.
Oh, I'd imagine so.
Jamil says, I haven't worked on my comic in a while, so the art is a little old. I can also link my current work in progress if you guys are interested. Yes, please. I am very interested.
I will get back to you because I need to see what you actually do.
I posted a link. Here's the comic.
Okay. On tick. Let's see what we got. Oh, fascinating. Stunning.
Yeah.
Chapter 1.
Yeah, if you enjoy westerns, you'll enjoy this as well, Reese.
I do enjoy a good old western. Oh, is that how this works? Interesting. Okay. Because when it was in chapters, I thought it's like pages, but no, it actually is a chapter with multiple pages.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. I'm on the same page.
Oh, you're on the same chapter.
Fascinating. Okay. This actually looks familiar, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I definitely have to take a proper look at this. I'm gonna save that in my favorites.
Yeah, link. Click. Nice. Here's the current condition. That does look very nice.
Ah, okie dokie. Love the line work. Good stuff.
Yeah, I really enjoy your line work.
I could could use some work, but it's not terrible, that's for sure.
Well, you can experiment a little bit more on those line thicknesses I usually tell you.
Oh, I have been practicing subtly. Very, very subtly. I mean, well, you've said it yourself before. When I got my tablet, it's not too different from when I draw on paper.
Yeah.
So I already have an idea of pen, pencil pressure, to say the least. But because this is computer art, it's slightly different. More sensitive, if you will. But the results speak for themselves. If you've seen my mouse work.
And that's the thing with mouse work. I'm not gonna lie, I used to draw a mouse as well, but that was when I had Windows XP and Windows 98.
Well, let's be honest. Most people had to start out with a mouse because
Well,
tablets weren't exactly as thing as they are now back in the day.
Well, you say that, but I kind of... well, most of the time I was just like, well, this is beyond me, I'll just stick to paper.
Ah, yes. I forget. It took you quite a while before you jumped onto digital. I can't even remember when I started doing mouse art. I think when my dad first got me a computer, he was like, "You will use this computer!" It's like, okay. So I found a way to do it.
Reese,
because again, don't forget.
You will use this.
Yeah, because again, don't forget, internet was still in its fledgling. I can't talk today. Thank you. Fledgling years.
How come you can say Pokemon names but not fucking actual words?
It depends on the Pokemon.
You could say fledgling but not fledgling.
I know, it's weird. Anyway, what can I say? My brain is fucked. Anywho's, moving right along. So, yeah, back when computers were still new, I found the very original paint, and I just drew on it. And my dad praised me for it, and I've pretty much been doing it ever since, really. I actually vaguely remember what my first drawing was.
I just remember that my parents were very against us getting internet for the longest of times, because I'm guessing my mom read a lot of things about the dangers of the internet.
It would not surprise me.
Which is fair enough, but all I really wanted, was to go onto the Pokemon website. I don't care about anything else. But then again, later on, I went on to like Linkin Park forums and the chat and stuff.
Yeah.
To chat with people.
Socializing.
And then we had IRC, and then I got to learn about all the perverts on the internet, which was fun. Because it was nothing all that different that I haven't experienced from real life. Hey Reese, have you ever been sexually harassed on have you ever been sexually harassed over the phone? Because I have.
No, I haven't actually.
Have you ever had a pervert ring up on your phone? On basically we had a kind of like city to city fair business where my dad's company was basically like a transportation.
Okay.
So
continue.
So basically, clients would call in, and we needed to write down what times they wanted. We could offer other times that our drivers would be going. So sometimes it was a family-run business, so a lot of times I had to pick up the phone because sometimes both of my parents had to go out, and I was in charge. And you quickly learn to socialize, I guess. But at some point had some interesting callers. And since I'm a kid, I have my balls didn't drop yet, so I sounded like a girl.
No.
So
oh no.
So the guy was having a Twinkie squeeze during the thing.
Oh god, no.
That was fun.
For one of you, maybe.
Well, yeah, I don't even remember like saying like you do realize I'm not a girl, right? He's like, it's okay. I'm very lonely.
Oh shit! The way you delivered that too, just oh god. Goodness fucking god. Thankfully, my childhood was a bit more sheltered. Goodness shit. I don't know how anyone would react to that. Like, you see that SpongeBob meme where he's just sitting at the diner table by himself in contemplation.
Well, the thing is, like, we got that phone never fucking shut up. It would always be ringing, so...
Was it the same guy?
No, thankfully no. But yeah, it was a very busy kind of job. Let's just say, to the point where my mom actually got so frustrated with accepting calls all the time, just from normal clients, obviously.
Yeah.
But she got so frustrated that she almost broke one of our phones in frustrations just because it wouldn't shut up and let her sleep. People would call in at every hour of the day. You might think people would stop calling after 2:00. No, they keep.
You'd think.
They keep calling at every single fucking hour of the day, and like I remember when we had a wired phone. Eventually, we upgraded to wireless, and eventually we switched over to a mobile phone, specifically designated for that. Because then my parents my dad could take it with him whenever he needed to.
Yes.
But eventually we did hire a person to be... Excuse me. Eventually we did hire a person to be responsible for accepting calls and stuff. Receptionist.
Yeah.
And eventually it got so frustrating for her that we had to hire several receptionists.
Oh, for God's sake.
Because again, it was very busy.
Yeah. My God, I don't know how some businesses do it. I really don't. I suppose, as you say, you just hire someone else to do it.
Well, eventually, but starting out, like, this was
Yeah.
this business was completely made by my dad, so we kind of went through all the motions of getting it running, and it did become very successful to the point where we upgraded from a low-income family to a middle-class family.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is the business your brother screwed up, ain't it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So that business is dead on the ground now.
Yep.
My dad really regretted it. Because it didn't just go after he died. It was in progress. Because my brother mismanaged it horribly.
That is unfortunate, to say the least.
But if the problem is, like, if my brother didn't pick it up, this business would have failed even sooner. Because the reason my brother started taking over is because my dad couldn't handle all the legal shit.
Okay.
Because he had to, like, when we got it accepted into the European Union, a lot of shit changed, and our country being the country that it is, full of scumbags and basically people, anybody who can screw you over will screw you over for any little thing that they can. When we got accepted into the EU, basically they started applying any and all rules, even if they weren't all that special. If you didn't follow them, they will give you heavy fines.
Right.
And once those keep amounting, you're just not making any money at that point. So a lot of our competitors start going out of business, and only one survives to this day. Everybody else, including my brother's including my brother now, has gone out of business.
Yep.
And you know who the main competitor is, Reese? Not the one that survived, but you know who the main competitor is?
Who?
The city buses. So the mayor is our main competitor. So let me ask you, how much do you think the mayor wants to get rid of everyone in the competition? And,
I don't know.
And I can actually say this without any shame. Our mayor is basically like a fucking mafia boss himself. So our mayor actually owns a lot of nightclubs and shit around the city. And there has been instances where nightclubs have mysteriously burned down.
My bloody God. What is with your country? My God.
Welcome to the post-Soviet Union, motherfucker.
So let me get this straight. To survive in your country, you literally have to be a mob boss.
You just have to be...
Quote unquote.
No, you just have to be a model citizen.
Doesn't sound like it, buddy.
I mean, if you've got outreach from way back then yes. One of my classmates, Reese, was the son of the big mob boss.
Oh, for the love of God!
Who was serving time in jail at the time when we were in school, and he was very, very proud of that, and he let everybody know about it.
Wow, getting a date for prom must have been easy.
I mean, all the girls liked him, but it's not because he was the son of the mob boss, because he actually had balls on him. That's fine. If anything, I'm sure he is actually like very much acceptable in taking over his father's business, if you know what I mean. He was that type of dude. I've met him in recent years, and he's the type of guy that you don't know if he's gonna if he can be friendly, but there's a lot of malice behind everything.
Oh, I couldn't imagine why. It's almost like in that kind of world, you've got to be that way.
Oh, no.
Or, you swim with the fishes.
Well, no, that's not what I mean. Yeah, the swimming with the fishes thing is a very big stereotype race. Here, they'll just break your legs.
Ah, lovely. Even better. I get to suffer for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'd almost wish for death.
I think I told you my bro was very heavily involved with that shit.
Oh yes, you've mentioned it.
To the point where he had gotten drunk and told me stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no wonder you can hardly sleep.
No, I can sleep fine. None of this concerns me.
I was joking. I was just joking.
I'll be having trouble sleeping if he doesn't pay off his debts, because then the mob's gonna come for me.
Yeah. That's not a stereotype. That's a fact. Where's our money?
Yeah, because then they might break my legs. Or my hands, and then my career's over. Then my hand modeling career's over.
Not your hand modeling career. No. Pretty joke, but it's quite terrifying. Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. We get what we deserve.
Yeah, to say the least. I just don't know how this always comes about. What the hell? That was weird.
What?
I mean, I've lived my life pretty, chill. I don't know how people always seem to get wrapped up in this shit.
Well, the thing is, a lot of this mob stuff is kind of like almost accepted at this point, because basically a lot of businesses can, like, if you're in the car service industry, or what's another one, nightclub industry, there's a high chance you're gonna get involved with them, mainly because they're your main competition. Transportation business and everything like that. A lot of them are sometimes former or like current mobsters and stuff. I say mobsters, but it's generally kind of like a friend thing in a way. Not like it's a family, like the typical Italian shit, but it's more like it's a community of people.
Yeah. I'm aware of that. I just meant how people get involved in it.
Oh, it starts from childhood. Basically, when I was a kid, I remember just like, for example, you would have kids that would get essentially bullied into being part of the gang. And you would have the older kids that would be essentially wrangling them out of money and making them do what they don't want. And a lot of times, like, one of those would be some type of scam. For example, they would be going around town asking for like any kind of money and saying like, could you give me some money so I can buy a pastry? Could you give me some money so I could do this? Just begging.
Yeah.
And basically, I remember a specific point where I was walking around, and these two kids come up to me saying like, "Oh, could you give me some money so I can buy some pastry for before I have to go back to school?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "No, but we can go and I can buy you that pastry." Essentially, and he's like, he just coughed and walked away, and going for another person, and I just kept walking. And then when I was going back on my way, there was the older kid talking down to the other ones, and the older kid had a broken leg. He basically was walking around with a crutch, and he was like knocking them on their heads, like telling them off that they should be doing better. So you kind of get bullied into these kind of things, and it's harder to get out of it later on.
I'm not denying that.
Basically because, well, you're so heavily involved in it. And later on in life, you kind of transition slowly from that, because you're kind of following that kid, and they grow up, they can become part of the mob, eventually getting accepted, doing heavier shit later on, and you kind of transition to doing that. A lot of these kids kind of get hooked on booze and alcohol, booze and tobacco very early on. So they need to support their habits. They get a little bit of a thing. Like, again, a lot of them come from difficult families to the where the mom or dad can be like heavy alcoholics. Maybe they just come from a really bad household which is like overcrowded or something like that. And it was fairly common when I was growing up. It's probably not as common now. In fact, I'm just not seeing a lot of that at all now, which is good.
Yeah.
But that's just my memories of when I was growing up.
Of course.
But yeah. Basically, it's just circumstance.
Of course.
Victims of circumstance. And now, if I go around bars, I probably won't recognize them, but it's those kids. They're all fucking drunks now. Just surviving. A lot of my brother's friends are hopeless alcoholics, just like he was before he took control a little bit. I don't know how long that's gonna hold out, but hopefully it'll hold out longer than we all expect him to, because this is kind of his last chance.
Yeah. Well, we can hope.
We'll see.
Well,
we'll see
what we can do. Because Lord knows I don't want them breaking your legs. So thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Hello, my name is Ted. Generally, you just might get involved just because you're in that type of business. Same with my brother, he had to pay a specific sum for like, protection.
Yeah.
It just depends on how much you get involved.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. That.
There's one thing I don't miss is the random muggings I used to experience when I was a kid.
Oh, certainly. Who would ever want those?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those don't happen anymore. In the same way that they used to. Because a lot of times when I was walking home from school, for example, you just might get stopped by an older kid and they'll just mug you.
Lovely.
Or pick you up.
Well, you're still with us. That's the important thing.
You know what the funny thing is, actually? Those muggings happen so often. The point where I was I was basically a victim of false accusation. Like I mugged the kid, so his older brother took retribution on me.
What the hell?
I was like, what the hell, man?
Jesus. Goodness me.
Because my friend and I were walking from school, and this guy and his little brother just walks up to me as we were going to my place, and he's just like, I forget what he said. It was something like, he just comes up to me and says, "Is this the guy?" And his kid brother is just like, "Yeah." And I'm just kind of like, I'm still in the mood of joking around with my friend. So I'm like, he comes up to me and says something like, "So you think it's funny to take lats were our currency back in the day instead of euros? You think it's funny to take a lat from my brother?" I'm like, I just kind of laughed like, what? And then he fucking sucker punches me right in my stomach, and I just lose all breath. I just drop to my knees, and he just leaves. And I'm just, I was just kind of like stupefied at the moment, like, what the fuck happened?
You lost your money. That's what happened.
No, he didn't rob me. That's the thing. He didn't rob me. He didn't rob me that time. Like, he just came up to me, like sucked me in my stomach, and walked off with his brother. And my friend was just stood there frozen, like. So. And this kid was like maybe 4 years older than me, so he had like a lot of strength on him over me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just like came home, told my mom, and she's like, well, I think the first thing she asked, like, she said like, you didn't do that. I'm like, no. Why would I do that? But yeah, shit just happened.
Yeah.
Didn't really have anyone to complain to.
That is just. I'd never understand how these things work.
I mean, you want a little spending money. The thing is, like, you know how casinos don't let kids in these days? Didn't used to be the case. It's why my brother has such a huge gambling problem.
Well, I can't say like England is like that. I mean, it's never been for me, but I can't say on the other side of what happened.
I'm sure it was because you guys have essentially the same-ish areas as kind of like what I grew up on.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. As I said, just obviously I've lived a very peaceful life for the most part. Yeah, I was bullied in school, but minor things, not your kind of stuff.
It's just
So,
I remember going to a course when I was on Job Seekers, and I remember like meeting a Londoner who kind of came from similar environment, and we just got along great.
Yeah.
And Jamil says most modern games are gambling machines. Though anyway, with their loot boxes. You know what, Jamil? I pray he never picks up a console anymore, because boy, his weaknesses will just bust through. But these days he just gambles away a lot of money on online poker anyway, so it doesn't matter. He's found a way to waste his money anyway. I mean, if he didn't, he wouldn't have all these debts. But here we are. I think I told you, Reese, but it got so bad we're to the point where I had to have an intervention.
Yes, you had told me.
Where I had to step in with another mobster friend of his.
Yep.
I had to have a very long talk with him.
Very, very long and very, very serious talk.
Well, I don't know what he doesn't get, because obviously right now the only thing between the serious debt collectors and him is the good word of his friend, who actually has leverage in their company. And that's technically the only protection he's getting. So if he squanders that, somebody might just come up and shiv him.
Yep.
And once he's gone, well, I basically told them, like, where do you think they're gonna get their money back? They're gonna come for our mom, grandma, and me. And you want that?
And apparently he didn't want that.
Well, it's not that when you're that far gone in drinking, you don't think.
Clearly. Not that I have experience with this, but, you know, I've heard stories. My dad had a bit of a skit with alcoholism, but he soon wised up. Because obviously my brother would be there to tell him what's what, basically.
In my case, I just had alcoholism at some point.
Yeah.
What's up, Rish?
Oh, I'm just doing some typing, so I'm just thinking of dialogue because I'm doing a bit of improv at this point.
If I can suggest anything, whenever you're
By all
not,
means.
whenever you're not drawing, just have like not dialogue write-outs, but generally just some notes or just templates for what you can use, because you're gonna be doing this either way.
I know, because in my first original script anyway, I just gave a brief summary of the montage bit, but this time I actually expanded it a bit more, where Riley's actually talking to Rio, trying to help him through. But of course, because I've added this recently, it's like, fuck, I didn't actually plan proper dialogue. Like, I've been planning it for days, and then here's the time. It's like, and it's gone.
It's gone. I actually had sometimes I might just lie down, have a really good idea for something.
Yep.
And I didn't write it down at the time. I was like, God fucking damn it. Yeah, I had sometimes I have an idea for the descriptions of these videos. Like for Lucas's Blood Omen playthrough. And I was like struggling up to that point to come up with what to write. I'm always struggling to come up with what to write for these. And I don't know if you noticed, but I had started a new sheet in the Google Sheets, in the hologram one, where it's just like about our playthroughs.
Yeah.
And it actually has descriptions in it, and I'm like, the reason I put them in there is because, well, it's either when I upload the videos where I have to go out of my way to do it on the spot, or I can pre-plan it a little bit.
Yeah.
So if I can, then cool. If I can't, then, well, nothing's changed. But yeah, I had problems with writing the Blood Omen one. And I think the day before yesterday, I just lay down and I was like thinking about the opening title card, or that little speech in the beginning of Blood Omen, which basically says that. Let me just look it up. It's very specific wording. There is a magical operation of maximum importance, the initiation of a new aeon, when it becomes necessary to utter a word. The whole planet must be bathed in blood. Basically, that's how the cutscene starts, and then you have the massacre of the vampires. So I was like, okay. I just laid down and I had you know how sometimes you just restructure the lyrics to the song, to a song. Yeah. I basically did the same thing with this thing. So I just like, okay, that's funny. But I just kept lying there, and eventually I fell asleep, and then I got it and I woke up and I didn't remember it as well.
Yeah. I'm sorry it all worked out in the end, right?
Well, I wrote down something else, but it's still fine. It worked out. Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. I had to rephrase it a little bit differently, but yeah. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Right.
Jamil says he's gonna hop off.
Okay.
Have a good.
I'll catch you later.
Have a good rest, Jamil. Thanks for coming.
Yep. Make sure that you take your meds and stay healthy as best as you can.
Take care of yourself.
And
recharge that pencil.
Yes.
And have a happy New Year.
Indeed. Have a happy New Year, damn it.
You too, buddy. Stay safe. I fucking Google fancy Christmas hats. It doesn't give me any good suggestions, but it does bring up a picture of me for some reason. Send you the picture.
Yep. 1 sec. Let's take a look at there. Oh my god. Of all the pictures in all the world, it had to be that one.
It's just like me for real.
Bah humbug.
Yeah, I showed Lucas Dread. He really enjoyed it.
That's good.
And all I could say is, well, welcome to the club of never getting a sequel, Lucas. And he's just like, he could have just asked me if I enjoyed it.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
I get to suffer like the rest of us.
Yeah. Welcome. Through the jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
Well, this one's nearly done at least, which is good.
Good.
Just another 50 pages to go. Oh, why do I do this to myself?
I finally wrote a summary for Legend of Legaia as well.
Oh, okay.
Alongside of Blood Omen.
Hmm?
Alongside of Blood Omen, let me look it up.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Playthroughs. There we go. One more classic from his childhood. Reese takes Becky and Oleg on a mist-clearing adventure in a world that got a little too codependent on their symbiotic tech. Only one thing can solve that. Violence.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Oh, you got combat arts.
This is true.
Many combat arts.
Yes, there's quite a few combat arts.
You just need to find them all.
Yes, I've been good and tried not looking up how to do them all. Because I can.
Maybe you should.
But that would be cheating.
Oh no, welcome to Hologram where we definitely don't cheat.
No, we don't.
Right? We definitely don't cheat and we don't let anybody backseat game.
Nope.
Isn't that right, Lucas? I don't backseat game ever. Right? Right. I mean, if I backseat gamed, we'd probably, if I didn't backseat game, you'd probably be stuck in Limbo of the Lost still.
Well, Limbo of the Lost. Was it Shadow Sword?
Oh, Broken Sword.
Broken Sword, sorry.
Yeah. You'd be still tackling the fucking goat. Because again, honestly, I think he might have solved it because Lucas is cleverer than me. He just needs time. But the problem with that puzzle is that it's very deceptive in its like in how it shows you to do things, and you might have actually tried doing the thing, but it didn't count because you didn't do it fast enough. And a lot of times I actually thought Lucas would actually get it, but he didn't. Mainly because of like didn't do it fast enough. And I did give him hints. Like I said, like you have everything you need to pass this. It's just bullshit. That's all it is.
Yes.
And that's why it destroyed them at the end. Like it destroyed fucking everyone. I just wish. I just really wish somebody could have given me those hints when I was a kid, because god damn it, I only got to experience the ending much later.
Yeah. It really is a pain in the butt. It's really weird when you think about games back in the day. Because obviously they didn't have well, I don't know how to explain it. There was no set way to do a video game when we were growing up. So everything was always experimental. But my god, some of them are just brutal.
Yeah. I mean, you still have those now. A lot of companies will prioritize monetization instead of, gameplay. I watched a video on that recently.
Oh, okay.
Where the guy goes into a lot of detail with how it started, where it got popularized, like all the horrible monetization things that are so prevalent now. And the thing is, like, yeah, he is correct in saying it's not gonna go away. Mainly because, well, it just they are horrible video game practices. It's just that the games are now. You make a game to have those practices be applied. So instead of making a game and making sure you got a good product, which is like everything's fair game. Now it's more like, okay, what kind of game can we make where we can apply all these practices? Because, well, it might not be good, but it does work. And it works spectacularly, especially like, for example, those football games where they keep changing rosters and just releasing games constantly.
Yep.
And the rosters don't carry over with each release, so you are constantly buying them over and over and over again. So those kind of games rack in billions.
Oh yeah, look at WWE for example. Well, again, football games as well. Just change the roster, don't really change the gameplay all that much, if at all.
Yeah. But brings up a good point in that video, saying like it's not that they like refused to do that back in the day. It's just that they didn't have the technology to like they just essentially didn't have the technology to apply it.
Yeah.
Because again, you can make a game and you can release a patch to it, but nobody will be able to get it. So like PC games had like the advantage of being able to get patches because the game wasn't stored on a cartridge or disk.
Yeah.
And not all consoles back in the day came with internal storage. I would even say most of them, or not even none of them did. Well, not none. Most of them did not.
Yeah.
There probably were a couple that can be considered home consoles. But yeah, most of it was just kind of that's what you get and that's what you stick with. So that's what made the exchange fair. So the game devs make the best game that they can make, and if there's bugs, well, that's just something you have to live with.
Yeah. Oh, that's that done. Another one bites the dust. Bump, bump, bump. Another one bites the dust. And now I have nothing.
Oh, you can start on the next page.
I can, yes.
Oh, I think I will.
Because that's the kind of guy I am. Okie doke. Put that.
I find it funny you brought up WWE when we were talking about this.
Oh, okay.
Because my mind instantly went to DSP. How much money spent on the daily?
Oh, sweet Jesus. Sweet Arceus.
Like, of all the things he could have brought up, and my mind just goes, well, yep.
Buddy, I'd say you had an unhealthy obsession with the man, but we all know this to be true.
I hate his guts, yes. I was talking to Lucas about this, and it's kind of like, yeah, I do, but probably not for the reasons you might attribute. Like, I really do hate the guy. And I was watching a video on him by another artist, and he's just like, well, here's why I hate DSP, and it might not be the reason you think of. And I kind of agree with him on his points where he says, like, well, DSP for a lot of us, DSP reminds us of ourselves and all the bad things about us. So that's kind of why, because he's like this ultimate bad example of people. And he refuses to learn, he refuses to acknowledge things, and when he does it in the most... what's the word?
Condescending way?
Yeah, basically, like, in the most condescending way possible. I was like, oh, maybe I did this. Well, maybe I was wrong upon this. Okay, I admit. Fine, whatever. But it's not my fault. I didn't know about this. Yeah, but you were so smug about it. You called everybody in your chat idiots for even suggesting you might be wrong.
Yeah, it really shows that hate culture is just so prominent. And when I say hate culture, I don't mean like you just hate something for no legitimate reason, but it's like, oh, I don't like this guy, so stop watching him. Oh, but I can't. No, you really can. You just watching him just gets him paid more. Stop. Just stop.
I'm not watching him on his own fucking channel.
I know you're not.
I
wouldn't. Talking about those who will.
Yeah, I'm just like, I wouldn't do that. God damn. If anything,
no.
If anything, I want.
Not you, Sin.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I want him to lose his house. Like, I don't care. I actually want this guy to fucking lose his house, because he lives in a gated community, in a house he cannot afford. He has gone through bankruptcy. Actually, it's more apt to say he cheated his way through bankruptcy.
Oh, okay.
Like, there is a lot of things wrong with this guy that I'm just like, yeah, I do not approve, and I want this person to fucking lose everything just so he can learn a fucking lesson. And it's not because I just want him to lose everything, because, well, you can make the argument, oh, you're just jealous. I just want him to fucking learn a lesson once in his life. And sometimes it needs to be a really hard lesson to learn.
Yeah. You'll get no disagreement from me. It's just one of those things where...
You don't want to wake up, everybody sucks.
it's just one of those things that, again, I don't know how to explain it.
Why do you want to justify ripping someone's face off?
It's just like, for the longest time, like, Teen Titans Go was getting a lot of hate, and don't get me wrong, whether you like it or hate it isn't the issue here. But obviously, certain YouTubers would obviously speak their grievances on hating on Teen Titans Go. And it would just be that. Just every episode that comes out, how much they hate it more, how much they hate it more. And obviously people would watch and agree, and it's like, do you actually hate this, or are you just saying you hate it just so you can get paid?
Yes, and no.
Yeah,
it's kind of a bit of both. The thing is, like,
exactly,
it is convoluted in that they have to keep talking about it because people tune in.
Exactly, you see what I mean?
Yeah, but in terms of like that, it's just like, in terms of me, for example, when I saw Teen Titans Go and I actually gave it a shot, and I'm like,
same here.
No, this is not for me. Fuck this shit. I'm out.
Yeah.
I watched a couple episodes
that
on Cartoon
did
Network,
make me laugh. Yeah. There's a few episodes that made me laugh, but it's like, it's the same for me. No, just stop. Just stop.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I can still acknowledge that the old show was not like, people have a bit of a rose-tinted view of the old show because it carried similar fashion, and it was similarly hated back in the day because it was not a typical like DC show. If people forget, like, watch the original Teen Titans again and see how differently you remember it, because people remember all the story bits, but they don't remember all the random shit that happened in it. Like all the and like anime faking shit.
It's funny you bring that up to a degree, because my other half seems to think, like, and I don't know how true this is, that Teen Titans, the original one, only had maybe, I don't know, 5-6 episodes of actual deep story plot stuff. Everything else is just comedy.
I can't deny or confirm that because I haven't seen it in a while.
Exactly. Same here. It's like, it wasn't as little as you think. You're not wrong. Yes, there was a lot of comedy. A lot of comedy.
I think what she means is like a complete episode dedicated to story. If that's the case,
yeah.
But there was a lot of story involved.
Yes.
And then,
yeah.
And it wasn't. Actually, no. I will disagree with her saying that it's all comedy. No, comedy played a big part of the story of how these characters were presented.
Yes.
So no, I will disagree with her on that. It's just they actually had a balance which kind of turned more into story eventually. As they keep going.
In fact, speaking of Teen Titans, it's actually coming back, the original show. And when I say coming back, I don't mean a whole new season or whatever, it's just reruns.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know that, it's coming back. In one form or another. And again, this isn't to shame people for liking Teen Titans Go. You do you, guys. You do you.
No, I'll shame you any day. We're in this because of you. No, I'm not joking. This is your fault. This is your fault. You keep watching this. You keep supporting this. So we're not moving from this. This is your fault.
Oh, you know what's actually funny? They actually did do a crossover movie.
I know.
Where they meet and the Robin that we're familiar with, the original Robin, he's just like, well, I can't lie, your numbers outrank ours. It's just like, God damn it.
Basically.
But I love the fact that it is still the original cast that's doing the voices of both. Like having an argument with yourself.
Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of like the multiverse thing, where it's just like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. I don't know why, I just find that kind of shit funny. Like, the fan base don't like this, but the voice actors are like, guys, it's just for fun. Hey, you know what would be funny if I have an argument with myself as the show that I hate. Like, serious Robin. It's like, when I first met you, Go Robin, I thought you were just annoying, a pain in the ass, and all this. And Go Robin's like, and? And Robin's like, that's it.
You are.
Yeah. Just playing up the whole, oh yes, this adventure made me see you in a different light. It's like, no,
you are.
exactly as I thought.
Yeah, I still have not seen that one, but that's mostly because it's a Teen Titans Go movie.
Well, I haven't watched it myself. I've just seen the clips.
Yeah.
Certain clips, anyway. Because again, it's not for me. Again, there will be some decent laughs, but that's just comedy in general. It's hit or miss.
Yep. I'm just not interested. It just seems like a thing I'll probably, even if I watch it, I'll laugh, but it's not gonna change much in terms of my thoughts on Teen Titans Go. I still see it as, again, I've told you this many times, but I hate the Saturday morning cartoon formula.
Yes, I am aware.
Despite
it. Speaking of Saturday morning formula, lol, how did you find Sonic Prime?
Sonic Prime was good because it actually has a story. That's the difference, Reese. Like, Sonic Prime might actually like hit all the jokes from Sonic Boom because it feels like the same writers. Like, it hits all the, especially the silly stuff like the pirate episode.
Oh yeah.
Like, I can completely see this as being like completely for kids, but it's within story parameters. It's within the universe rules, where it's just it is actually following the story. It is establishing that this is Knuckles' universe, like his crystal thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's fine. I am okay with this. I'm completely okay with this. And yeah, they changed a lot of stuff. And some people that I know reacted very not positively to it. Where they looked at Tails and they were like, what is this Doc Ock bullshit?
This what?
Doc Ock.
Oh, right.
Because he's
it's quite simple, guys.
Yeah, because he's a Ninetales in that one.
Yeah. But, actually, funny you bring that up.
Yeah.
In one of the concept arts, they actually had Tails without the robotic tails, but actually 9 proper organic tails.
Yeah.
You know, just to point out he's a kitsune.
Yeah.
But anyway. Because, of course, no one thought, ooh, why does Tails have 2 tails? It's not like his origins are mythical or anything. Whatever. No worries.
And
or inspired by, I should say.
The whole writing system is obviously just like a little bit for everyone with how blatant they are with things.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm fine with that. Like, I unlike the Sonic Boom thing, I am enjoying the nonsense this one brings. Mainly because there is a story connecting everything, which Sonic Boom doesn't have.
Nope. It's actually interesting when I first started watching Prime, because when I was looking at the credits of the first episode, who do I happen to see but a group I am quite familiar with behind this?
Yeah,
freaking Man of Action.
Man of Action, fucking, and it's just like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Fucking Ben 10.
Yep, Ben 10, Generator X. Okay, I may not have been a huge fan of Ultimate Spider-Man, but it's fine.
It's not even that. It's just like, oh, you guys hired the multiverse, Omniverse guys to do a multiverse Sonic thing. Makes sense.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? They've had quite good success.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
And it works. Again, like the style of everything works.
It does. I actually like the animation they've done for this series.
Mm.
I love the whole stretching animation thing, and they embrace the more cartoony, gamey stuff.
The only thing I will, I guess, quote unquote, complain about is, and this is coming from a 3D artist perspective, is their mouth rigs suck. I will say that much. Their mouth rigs suck. It looks like the stuff we had back in university. It gets scrunched up badly in a lot of places.
Yep.
And it's really unfortunate because everything else looks really good. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say it's a good thing that it actually topped Netflix's most watched stuff, so we most likely will get a season 2. Because I would have hated for it to have ended on the cliffhanger it did.
Yeah. Again, this type of stuff depends on the with how much fans actually want to see more. Because I still don't know if Dorohedoro is gonna get a season 2.
Sorry, which one?
Dorohedoro.
Oh, yeah, I still don't know.
It received a couple of OVAs, which covers a lot of the filler stuff that happened in the manga. Which I am honestly glad they tackled the baseball episode, because again, like the Dragon Ball Z driving episode, that one is one of the ones I can fully enjoy because it's just a part of their stupid world. But everything else still... Like, I'm fine with filler episodes if the actual mangaka did it. Because if you read the manga, there's so many chapters that just explore the weird-ass world they live in. Like, the devils in their world are just there to be dicks to everyone. They just exist to be a menace to everyone. Like, there's a specific chapter I remember where devils basically go to the town they originated from, and they're just menaces to everyone, but they also grant wishes. So it's kind of like Christmas, but only if like Santa was kind of a dick and just had a horrible sense of humor.
Yeah, I actually did try to read the manga, and I'm not sure how far I got because I didn't know if the anime is gonna pick up again.
I don't know. I would suggest reading it all the way through, mainly because it does suck you in with how weird everything is, and as well as the story itself is actually interesting.
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying I did try it. I'm not sure why I stopped. I think I just got burnt out because I was doing it in one sitting. Yeah. You know what I'm like. Once I get in, I'm in.
It's kind of the thing is, we kind of both did that with Beastars. Almost called it Zootopia there for a second. We kind of did that. We both of us did that with Beastars, but with Dorohedoro. I actually like how it ends. Like, it actually has a perfect ending in my opinion. Because everything gets resolved. Everything.
Yeah.
But they don't sacrifice the characters for it. Like, everybody still acts the same way as they should, as well as, like, maintaining the quote-unquote order of things. And this place is still a horrible place to live in. It's like, this is still kind of like... it feels like they're living in hell, but there is an actual hell.
There is?
Yeah, there is, like, hell is actually canon in this fucking universe. And you will go to it eventually. Like, everybody goes to hell in that universe. Because everyone is horrible. Like, even the main characters, like, yeah, they're main characters, but they murder people without a second thought.
Yeah, I'm aware. Like, blooming hell, forgetting names here because it's been a while. Well, our main guy, quite literally, just it establishes what kind of guy he is from the get-go. Especially when you see him eat someone's head, or ripping off their face. Oh, which character was it? He ripped the face off, and they had to plaster it back together, I think.
Yeah. Like there's
oh, the girl. That was it.
Yeah,
the girl. Yeah.
There's a moment where the thing is they established that they hate what they call magicians, people with magic, because they constantly keep going over to their world and practicing their magic.
Yeah.
Kind of like seeing them as dirt to practice on, and well, they have a deep-seated hatred for them. So when they eventually cross over to the magician's world, they have essentially what is a taxi driver, just driving them to the place they're going, and they don't really have anything to pay him with or anything else, so they just kill him. But then they realize they're still the taxi is like a flying carpet, so the flying carpet just fucking crashes.
Yeah.
But then later on they kind of get stuck there, and the main character starts working in a magic shop in disguise, and he kind of learns to kind of sort of respect some of them. Like they grow a fondness for some of them. Yeah, it's just like people are people. It's a very it's a very human manga, even though it's I call it macabre fantasy, macabre.
Yeah.
Like it's well, not fantasy, storybook. It's very much like a fairy tale, the way it's told.
Well, it certainly uses a lot of elements from it. Well, I feel it does, I should say. It feels very Alice in Wonderland, I suppose.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland, or I keep forgetting. Well, yeah, let's just say Alice in Wonderland.
There's a lot of shrooms and monsters and demons and all sorts of shite. And funnily enough, one of the better love stories.
And it doesn't just go for the main characters. Like, they make it interesting where you are essentially following the story of everyone. Bad guys, good guys.
That's what really sold me on it when I was first watching it. That it actually focuses on everyone.
Yep, like a good novel does.
Yeah, because I keep forgetting his name, and I'm sorry for this. But when the lizard bit off the girl's head, you'd think, "Oh, we're not going to follow this person's story again." No, you follow it.
I think his name was.
You follow it, right?
Kaiman.
Yes, thank you, Kaiman. Yeah, you follow that girl's story, which happens to be coincided with the villains, quote unquote, because they're not actually villains. They're the antagonists of the story, but they're not villainous to a degree. And you just get to know them, and even though, as you say, they're assholes, murderers, whatever, you get to slowly like them. That you don't want to see Kaimon kill them. Or Kaimon kill them, or
man. Not
Kaiman.
Mon. Instead of Mon, it's man.
Kaiman. kind man. Yeah. You don't want to see kind man kill them, and you don't want to see them kill him.
Yeah. But they do.
Oh, I know.
And he regenerates like it was nothing.
Yep.
But that's the mystery.
I'm just saying, that's a very...
Yeah, that's the mystery they kind of try to solve during that.
Yeah, that's just a rarity, to say the least. Doesn't happen all the time. It's usually, oh, this is the villain, this is the one that has to be put down or whatever.
Well, the thing is, like, the bad guys aren't just horrible characters; they're just people. Like the mushroom guy is essentially just a mob boss, and he's trying to keep an order, and there's constant struggles for power and whatnot.
Yeah.
So there's constant attempts on his life. Constant.
Yep. And he was just looking for Kaiman's friend, the chef girl.
Yeah, because he needs a specific power.
Yes. Well, he doesn't know it's her, but it is. Well, he doesn't know at first it's her, I should say. I don't know. He probably figures it out.
Well, he does. He kidnaps her.
Yeah.
and makes her marry him, basically.
Uh-huh.
But I kind of find it funny that her quote-unquote brother is one of the devils. And the one she...
Actually, that's the point. How far did the anime get? Can't remember now.
I think they get over into the magic world and that's about it. I forget.
Yeah. Sorry, you're saying.
I don't know. That was it.
Okay.
I do enjoy her story where she fucked up the timeline so much that she refuses to use her powers. Because she was, what, 4 years old when she did that?
Oh, okay.
She was very young, and unfortunately she made her sister... She erased her sister out of existence by one mistake.
Okay.
So now she grew up... She used to have a brother and a sister, now she has just a brother. And she was never part of the family, so she kind of had to convince him. But basically her sister was discovered by her foster parents as she was drifting down like a river. And because of her interference, they never discover her, and she was just washed up and died.
Oh dear. Amazing how the butterfly effect works, eh?
Yeah. So she was really afraid to use her powers.
But it all worked out in the end, right?
No.
It all worked out in the end, right?
No. It did not.
Yeah, I was just doing the Anakin meme.
I know, but it did not. It really didn't. If only it did. That sister is forever gone.
Oh, I'm aware of that. I just meant in general the story had a quote-unquote happy conclusion. Quote-unquote.
If you would call that happy, sure. Yeah.
As I said, quote-unquote.
Yeah, again, that whole world is kind of like limbo, if anything.
Oh yeah, it was never going to be perfectly happy. That'd be a very big surprise.
No, I'm just saying that whole world is kind of like a limbo in terms of how it works. So people are just gonna be miserable, like no matter what. The devils make sure of it.
Yeah,
it's literally their job. And all the devils want is just to have fun.
Of course.
and there's just one main devil that controls everything, and if somebody pisses him off, he can take your devil powers away.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love the rituals they have to do just to keep the devils happy and stuff like that. Like they have to present things, present gifts. It's moments like that that are really funny in that story.
Yeah, one of these days I will definitely have to revisit that. I have to add it to the list. Because if I remember correctly, at some point there's 2 Kaimons? Ish?
Why do you keep saying Kaimon?
I don't know. Kaiman. There we go.
Yeah. It's more
I don't know. It's just fall of the tongue.
It's not Kaiman, but Kaiman. Yeah.
Yeah, Kaiman. Again, I don't know why.
I think that's a type of crocodile. Kaiman.
Yeah. As I said, I don't know. My brain's weird. Some words I can say very easy, and others I can't. Well, maybe it's just my mouth. It's hard to say which it is.
It's just you being English. It's just you being British, buddy.
Nah, I'm pretty sure if it was my brother or one of my friends, they wouldn't keep making the same mistake.
Or maybe they would. Ooh.
I'd be very... Okay, I wouldn't be surprised. It'd just be like, vindication. Aha, it's not just me.
It's like people saying Naruto instead of Naruto.
Yeah. I can't... Actually, that's a weird one. Sorry, I just remembered this. Where people keep calling Hinata Hinata. Yeah. It's like, is that how it's pronounced? Really? Okay.
It's Hinata.
Like, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, it's just so weird to me. Like, some in my head they make sense, and then others are like, wait, that's how it's pronounced? Like, some people kept calling Grimer Grimmer. It's like, huh? Okay.
Sounds like a very Russian thing to do. Calling him Grimer. But it's from the word grime.
Yeah, exactly.
Not from the word grim.
Pronunciation is weird.
Well, pronunciation is like half of Russian language, so we kind of get basically drilled into specific pronunciations and being accurate about it. So potato tomato is not gonna cover that one.
No.
Endorse it. In Russian, you can pronounce a word differently, and you can technically it's spelled the same way, but the way you pronounce it makes it a completely different word.
Well, there's an interesting one. I think me and Bex have told you this before. There's a place called Flitwick, but the way it's spelled is Flitwick. Yep. But that's not how it's pronounced.
Yep. Well, that's just a lot of British people, British places in general that I've noticed. Like,
oh, you're not wrong.
You look at Salisbury and you're just like, well, it's Salisbury, but no, it's Salisbury.
Exactly.
Like when we were living in Bournemouth, okay, when I first saw the town, I didn't know how to pronounce it. And I looked at it and was like, Bournemouth? Bournemouth? Bournemouth?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Like the word borrow.
Yeah.
You think it sounds like, oh, you're borrowing money. No. It's spelled exactly the wrong way you're thinking of. Like furrow, but borrow.
Well, be thankful we're not using ye old spellings of things.
I mean, we have ye old spellings of Russian as well, but I'm not getting into that. Fucking. Because like, I would fucking hate it talking in like old Cyrillic.
I can't remember what it was or which class it was. It's either history or English. And they showed us actually preserved, well, I say preserved, a photocopy of preserved like newspaper articles back in the old days. And the way they spelt things is like, how did anyone read back then? Because obviously the dictionary was a very new concept, apparently.
Yep. There was that, yes. The dictionary being a very new concept. That was a thing. Well, the thing is, a lot of people were illiterate. So I didn't have to worry about that.
No, of course not. But I really couldn't imagine. Well, obviously I can't imagine living back in that time. Just how did anyone ever speak, communicate? And everyone had different ways of writing something. How?
Well, again,
how did everything get done?
Again, most people were illiterate.
I know. I'm just saying.
So they didn't need to write. They didn't know how to.
But then it gets to the point where people did start to learn to write, and it's like, well, whose way is the correct way?
The people in charge, of course.
Of course.
Can't say no to the king. When the king says this is the correct way, you follow it.
Well, I beg to differ. There was quite a few revolutions.
That's how you lose your cat race.
From what I remember in France, it was the king that lost his.
I know, eventually. But if you begged to differ, you would have been begging for your life.
Eventually. Remember that word, folks. Eventually. Dear. Yes, King Henry VIII's 6 wives would definitely attest to that.
Well, I beg to differ. Well, you will be begging, yes.
I'm sure there was a lot of that back in the day. Yeah, wait, it hasn't changed much now.
I mean, it has quite a lot, but...
Yeah, we still have our beggars.
Some things are fair, some things are less.
We still have our beggars, but now we have people who are actually well off begging. Like, You know the ones, the scam artists and what have you. And of course, it's very hard to tell which is which. Unless you know what you're looking for.
I don't know what I'm looking for.
What you looking for? You're looking for a hug? Do you want a hug?
No.
Really? You don't want hugs?
No. It's hella gay.
Tough you get hugs. Hug.
That's hella gay.
Yeah. Don't be a grumps and accept my hugs.
Color. What you doing for New Year's, Reese?
I am visiting my godson and his family. That's my New Year's in a nutshell thus far. I'm also working. That's fun. Earn that extra dough whilst I can.
What day are you working?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
I wasn't going to work till Sunday, you know, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
What are you doing for New Year's?
Nothing.
Anything exciting?
Nope.
No.
Absolutely nothing. I'm not drinking. I am
Not seeing your family? Nothing?
I'll be with my grandma for a bit, but that's it.
Okay.
That's about it.
Hmm.
Nothing special.
Yeah. Any resolutions planned or screw it?
Imagine having resolutions.
I know, right?
If I need to resolve myself to do it, it won't be at New Year's.
Yeah. Burn, baby, burn. Disco inferno. Burn, baby, burn. Ah, quick resets. I almost forgot. I'll do it after this panel. Dear. Bump. Okay, hasn't changed that much. Good. What was that? Where? One of these days I will get this fight. It's not this day. Oh yeah, how's the drawing coming along? Haven't had a chance to look.
Changing colors and whatnot.
Okie dokie.
Started off with typical red stuff and switched to blue because it looked nicer.
Oh, alright. Coolio.
Couldn't even see, it was kind of chill.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Hmm?
I'm just having thoughts, how do I make this worse?
You mean better, right?
Yeah, better.
How do I make this better?
How can I make this worse for everyone?
So this is why I have a smile on my face on the thumbnail.
Yes.
Choose to be the only one to have fun. How can I improve? How can I get better? Sin, how can I make this worse? Lucas. Worry. Just potential worry.
Why do you guys keep bullying me? I said I was sorry.
Actually, that seems more like a me thing to keep saying sorry. You, on the other hand, just on purpose.
Yeah.
No, how could this happen to me? I made my mistakes.
Oh no. How could this happen? Almost like this was completely preventable.
Almost.
But then maybe it wasn't.
Who's to say? Maybe peanut butter. God, I miss my wife.
I miss my wife.
Well, she can say something random and it works. When I do it, it just seems odd.
I mean, it probably works because you're used to it.
I suppose.
And now that you're trying to fill in her shoes, it feels weird.
Mm-hmm. You ever have those moments where you said something and you're like, instant regret?
Yes, but I live with it.
Hmm.
In my case, it's just okay, it's fine.
Profound sadness.
Profound sadness. Where's that from? Seems familiar.
Oh, yeah, it was from Street Fighter when Guy gets beaten.
Oh, yes.
It's like, profound
sadness!
One of my other favorites is Oji!
Oyaji!
Yeah, that's the one. I actually find it interesting. I can't remember if this actually happened in the games or if it's just in the comics. But after Sagat killed Dan's dad, obviously Dan wanted revenge on Sagat, and Sagat actually let him win. Because the man's so pitiful.
Just leave, please. Leave my temple. Never return.
Mm-hmm. Definitely can't wait to get my hands on Street Fighter 6, that's for sure. Hopefully by that time I actually have a decent graphics card. He says in hope.
Well, the thing is, you need to make sure it fits in your box.
Yes, that's the harder part.
Otherwise, you're gonna need to get a new box as well.
Well, to be fair, it wouldn't be too costly. Me and Henrik were looking it up. Could actually get a decent one for 500. So
no, I mean just a box. You don't need to replace the whole thing. You can get a case and put
Oh,
all your
right,
components
right.
in the new case.
Right.
You really don't need to get a whole computer just to get a bigger case. You just need to make sure everything in the case will fit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these pre-made ones are just built for, space saving.
We'll see how we go in the new year. Again, if all goes well, cool.
And if it doesn't, fuck my life into pieces.
Well, again, I'll just have to, for the time being at least, keep just playing games that my potato can play. And honestly, there's a few good ones out there, I'm not gonna lie. Decent low res stuff. I say low res. Not high def. No, that's still not correct. Yeah, I'll get it right one day. Games like Frambo, basically. That kind of graphics. But for new things.
Indie.
Yes.
Indie shit.
Although I still am fine playing classic games. Still need to play The Legend of Dragoon. That's definitely one I want to try.
Well, I would appreciate it if you got the thing, because then I won't have to stream so much on my end.
Well, OBS.
Yes, you need to stream it from your end, so I won't get so much lag. That means, your computer would be able to handle all the other shit.
Well, again, we just need to just spend a day or whatever to set up OBS properly on my end.
Well, there's that, but also the fact that your computer just needs to be able to run it.
It can run it, to my knowledge.
I know, but it might be costly, is what I mean. OBS takes a lot of resources, Reese.
Well, we'll give it a try and see where I am at currently, and then we'll go from there. That's all I can say on that, because I'm not very tech savvy. I can't give you all the statistics and all that jazz.
Well, neither am
I. Actually try it out.
You just look everything up.
You know more than I do?
No, Reese, you literally look things up as you go. You don't understand something, you start looking it up and looking it up until your head hurts. That's how I do it. Yeah, right. It's nothing about being tech savvy, so to say. It's more about beating at it until you understand.
Because I managed to get OBS to work on my old computer, which is fine, but I was just doing drawings of that. I haven't tried streaming games with it. But I'm pretty optimistic. That we can indeed get this to work. And as I said, in the new year, things should be better financially, so should be fine. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Are we there
yet? Very nearly. Very nearly. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer.
Come on, Reese, you're gonna get copyright claimed. Oh no, never again.
It's fine as long as it's only 15 seconds.
No, it isn't. And I now hate people for spreading that fucking myth. Because I fell for it.
Wasn't it Henrik that said it first, though?
Don't know.
Because he was talking about his soundboards.
I don't know. It's just been a long-running thing.
Okay.
It doesn't matter how long it is, the company has full right to fucking copyright claim it.
It is.
It's like literally no fuck you. It doesn't matter how long it is. And you know why they started doing that? Because now ads are 15 seconds long.
I see. Okay.
Some ads are 5 seconds long and they can abuse your copyrighted songs for that. So now everybody suffers.
Right, yeah.
No matter what context.
Well, now I know.
Yeah, joke. You know enough.
Is that a thing you just made up, or is that an actual thing?
That is an actual thing.
Okay.
I don't remember where from, but that is an actual thing. Canuck actually managed to find the clip. That's why he uses it so much. Well, it's a 50-50 chance between us hearing the and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe and you know enough. G.I. Jose.
Nice. So yeah, if we get copyright struck, I apologize.
Like, it's so ridiculous at the point where you can't even sing a cover. They might strike you for it. Fucking copyright law should be fucking rewritten. So fucking ridiculous.
I swear they've been rewritten a few times, haven't they?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's never to our fucking advantage.
You actually thought it would be? Lol.
Well, what? No. But I would like it to be.
Of course. So would I.
It's never to our advantage. Nothing. Nothing.
Nada. Zilch. Focus.
Always bogus, man.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. But yeah, like, getting copyright claimed is fine. I'm fine with that. It's when you get copyright struck, that's when it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Because a couple of those and your channel's gone. That's why I stopped streaming to YouTube. Like,
yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Oh yeah,
it's still bullshit.
The deceptive practices. What fucking deceptive practices? Oh, your appeal's been rejected. Well, fuck you then. We've reviewed it and it is warranted. On what fucking grounds? Well, we make the rules. Well, guess I'll follow them. Bye.
And the thing is, it was only what, chill stream or something you wrote? I don't remember now. You wrote like it was just chill drawing stream or something like that, which it was.
It was just me drawing, and the thing is, like, they struck me based on the fact that I was spreading misinformation or something, or scams and other stuff. And that might have been because, well, YouTube comments system is absolute fucking dog shit. but they retained the copyright struck because I had music playing and a copyright song came on.
Mm.
So it's like, okay, so are you striking me because I used a copyrighted song? So could you at least rewrite the reason? No. Okay. Fine, I guess.
Mm.
Who cares if I lose my channel? Fine.
Mm.
And now I have to live with just that constant reminder of like, oh, you have a copyright strike. With it, that will never fucking leave. Ever.
Mm.
It's always there. Every time I log in, I have to see it. Even though it's unwarranted. Like, fine, fine if you don't want me to use copyright music. Okay, fine. What am I supposed to use? Well, that's not of our issue. Okay, fine. That's great. That's always great. Turn me off from streaming.
Well, at least streaming on YouTube.
I
said at least streaming on YouTube.
Well, Twitch is no different.
Yeah, but we are actually streaming.
They can completely like mute your stream if you use something they don't want you to use.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Because there is a copyright system in place here as well. Which is why I have a lot of trouble picking songs to play during the drawing clubs. The current one that's playing is from an old PS1 game. Like a German PS1 game that is more or less completely forgotten by the world. And I know it's not gonna be struck because I couldn't even find the composers for it. But later on, somebody might just claim it because fuck you. Because the system is very abusable. And sometimes people can claim stuff on behalf of other people without any grounds to do so. Because the system allows them to do that. And it's like, well, cool, great, fucking perfect. So happy about it. So happy you've done this. And you can say, well, Alec, you don't own the rights to any of this. Yeah, I don't. You are correct about that. Should I learn to make my own music as well, just so that people will watch my fucking videos?
I mean, maybe. Some people do.
Yeah, maybe I will have to. If that's the case, but then I won't be doing this stuff. Like I was already like iffy using like the current Hologround theme is made by Lucas's brother-in-law. And he uses the YouTube copyright system. So I was like, I told Lucas right away, like saying like he should fucking okay us right off from the bat. Because the YouTube system might flag us on his behalf.
And so far we're okay?
Well, so far we're okay. And if we're not, well, we've got Lucas on the lifeline just to tell his brother-in-law stop.
Yeah.
Bro, I need you to stop. Because YouTube system, YouTube thing is like very pro artists, usually, but the problem is it's pro musicians, not artists in general.
Yeah.
It doesn't see artists as artists. It only looks out for musicians.
Story of my life.
And the musicians will tell you otherwise. Because even though they get preferential treatment over artists, they still get shit treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to learn music, I think I just have a very poor sense of rhythm.
I know I do.
Well, it's not impossible to train it. It's just very hard.
Oh no, no.
Like
No.
I've actually tried learning through Rocksmith and stuff. Like it's hard for me to keep up. Very hard.
Yep. One thing I've been told in my life multiple times is you've got dance moves, you've got no rhythm, and I can certainly attest to the fact I am tone deaf. So, yeah. Factor in my lack of creativity, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to become a musical prodigy at all. But I suppose one of the biggest factors is I just generally have no interest in it.
I do, but again, poor sense of rhythm. So
What about that river?
I probably will keep going at it, and we'll see to what degree, but I don't expect great results. I just want to learn to play Roundabout by Yes on the fucking guitar. Is that so much hard? Is that so much to ask for?
I wouldn't have thought so. Well, I'm gonna leave it here for tonight before it gets too late.
Alright. Why?
I've got work tomorrow.
Why?
Again, gotta pay them bills.
But why? Okay. Fair enough. I'm just gonna try and finish this, I guess. On my off.
By all means.
No, I'll end it here in that case. Thank you everybody for watching. If you'd like to see more of what we do, please follow and subscribe. And if you want notifications for when we do stuff, then there's social links down below, as well as the Discord link. Please come chat with us. We bullshit as well. Sometimes, rarely, maybe. Anyway, see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.